After the data has been processed, somebody actually has to do the review. And the review is really where the analysis happens. The review is really the process which people are actually looking at the ultimate data that was collected and processed. There are many ways to really go through this information, but really when you're reviewing the data, you're really looking for an opportunity to go through that information and figure out what's relevant, what's not. Oftentimes when you run a search, that information will produce results, but they may be false positives, you may have false negatives. You want to be able to go through those documents and actually figure out what's there directly. And so in the review process, it's imperative to have the ability to go through and provide special tools. There are many review tools out there. Most people are reviewing in a hosted platform as opposed to simply reviewing in the native application, such as Word or Excel files. You're really looking at the files themselves in a tool. You're going to go through, you're going to tag what's responsive, what's relevant. You may actually annotate the documents to say which piece of a document itself is critical for the case. And then you may actually search the data. Just because a document was responsive to your initial search term, it may actually not be a relevant document. And so you want to be able to go through and search that data even further. You may want to organize the information into folders related to your subpoena or related to your custodians themselves. Oftentimes there are tools that will allow folks to be able to go through and really look at those documents and figure out what they have. Those are the review platforms. The review platforms are really a database that stores the information that was collected, that was processed, and now is ultimately prepared for review and gives people the ability to do those things such as tag the documents and really go through and look at the information, figure out what's there, maybe do another level of culling and figure out what is useful. There are many tools out there. The biggest ones in the industry that people really spend the most time in these days, it seems to be relativity. There's also concordance, there's summation, iPro, iConnect, many tools. They're all very similar. What they really do is allow the user a different interface to be able to go through those documents. And the key thing with the interface is it has to be useful, it has to be comfortable, it has to be something that the users can log in through the web often, so they can really be anywhere in the world to do this review. Nowadays, a lot of the tools have the ability for people to log in from their phone or from their iPad, so that if a reviewer is traveling, they can still do the level of review as they need. But the platform is really just a tool to be able to enable the user to be able to review the documents in a much just easier fashion, and to be able to go through that information and make the relevance calls, make the issue calls, identify documents for privilege. If ultimately you're going through those privileged documents, you may need to redact the information, you may need to extract more information, and be able to do that in the review application.